All right. Good time of day it is where you are, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see if how many people we get today. I haven't been public in seems like 55 years. So we'll see how this ends up. What a good market we are in. Holy crap. What's up, Ian, Batman? I got to do this more often. Getting older. So tired sometimes. Just don't want to deal with it. What up, Mike? We're public today, bud. Why the hell not? Real crypto in the house. Accumulation phase of a lifetime? Well, I think we already missed the lifetime part, but accumulation phase is good. What up, Ian? We got two Ians here today. That's amazing. Haven't had two Ians for a while. What's up, Kumi Sean? We're live today, bud. Public. Why not? Figure market's going good. Man, altcoins have been on fire. Hopefully, some of you guys got that pancake swap. That thing is just vertical, really, at this point. Table of two Ians. Love from Asia. I don't know if that's scary, Alex. Are you the Alex I'm thinking you are, Alex? Hello, Martin. Are you doing voice to chat? They don't know how to do German accents? Hello. That's awesome. All right. Let's see what this market's got. This is a pretty good market, I've got to say. Um, I've been thinking about doing a public video, just really haven't gotten around to it. And then this opportunity came along, so there we go. Yes, Cass lifted off too, Kumish. Everything, not everything, but a good amount of our coins lifted off. If you guys don't know, this is the Power Hour, so we go over the newsletter that we put out every single day. And today we have our list of coins we're going to go through. I'm running a little behind. I didn't have a chance to go through BTC pairs. That has been a little bit less important lately, so I don't feel too bad about that. We'll get into those later. We'll also delve into stocks and options towards the end of the show. As the market's looking pretty good, and we're going to see if it's actually stable good or this is just another dead cat bounce type of a situation. All right. And if you guys want to talk about anything other than what we talk about in Slack, because that would get me banned from any public platform, please feel free and shout it out, and we will definitely make sure that happens. All right, let's get to it. BTC with just amazing stability. This is ready to go. It just looks like higher lows abound, and it looks like we're ready to go. So whenever that occurs, thought maybe we'd give it a shot yesterday. Never did quite do that. Looks like Cheyenne can't make it. That sucks. Cheyenne's got horrible internet, but Bitcoin is not horrible. Bitcoin looking pretty good. Bounced off the trend line a couple days ago, and then we are looking like we're going to head higher. Hard to know when. I got 35,185 as the breakout level. It's been playing with that, just chopping around, unfortunately. If you buy this lower, that's probably best. Your stop loss could be somewhere under this trend line or under this low, which has kind of been an area of support recently right there. So ideally, we don't undercut that. But if we do undercut that and you do end up selling, if it rallies back on through, and towards the end of the show, we'll look at NVIDIA. That has a great example of an undercut and rally. And we did this yesterday in the private show, but we'll do it again today for you guys that haven't seen it. Undercut and rallies and hammer candles on elevated volume are really good signals. So if we ever get one of those here, I think that would be good. But Bitcoin's looking great, very stable in higher levels. That's what allows these altcoins to go up a tremendous amount, and that is exactly what's happening. So I don't think that there's much to be scared of right now, to be honest with you. If you're nervous, it's just because we've been stuck in crap market for who knows how long, and you just have to erase that from your memory and put your balls back on and pull triggers. That's really all you got to do. It's just as easy as that. Force yourself to do something that feels unwise, and you'll probably have a good result. 10xi 2017. I don't know, Sank, to be honest with you. Let's go full screen daily. We can talk a little bit bigger picture. We'll get rid of some trend lines. And one thing that makes me a little apprehensive is the volume that we've exhibited here. If you look at all the volumes that we have prior, we're not really that elevated in terms of volume, and volumes generally have decreased over time. So it's hard to say exactly, what is good enough volume. But now keep in mind, this is the index chart of BTC. So in theory, and I don't know exactly how TradingView does this, but this is a TradingView amalgamation of apparently all of the history of Bitcoin. So if we're just looking at the volume, there's definitely a general downtrend that's been going on, right? But and I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind on this, but when we get these moves up out of the lows, the question is, what is good volume? What can precede a very large move? And the question is generally answered with we got to have some type of good volume. And I'm not so sure that this necessarily qualifies as good volume. We really haven't been low volume for any longer period of time. Volume's been declining, which is good. But so yeah, I don't know for 2 years. I don't know, but I'll stay with it if, as long as we don't get any crazy sell signals. But this is definitely a market where you don't want to sit on the sidelines. This is a market where you want to be involved. And if it gets better and better and better, that's good. Unfortunately, the recent history has been the rallies have been less percentage and for at least from what I recall without going too deep into it, a shorter duration. And so we also have, 69,000 right over top of our heads, which is quite a ways away. It's about double where we're at right now. And, coming off of the lows here, 15,000, that'd be a good 300% move for BTC, which recently, other than this large capitulation from 2020, that's a large 1,700% move. But you go from like a more normal breakout range here, you're looking again at about 300%, which is right about where we just came from. So I don't know about a 10x this early on. Like I've said in my public videos, which I don't say very often, is one leg at a time with the market cycle in mind. We're still working this leg, and the market cycle is bullish, and so you just go with that. That's what I think you do. All right, so BTC doing good here. I find zero issues with it. If you got it, just hold it. It'll reward you in time, it looks like. And then I think we're going to get to the alts and some good, more immediate opportunities here. Easy money from the Fed went into bonds last week. They bought it down. The stupid heart's in my way. I can't see what you said. Brought it down from 5 to 4.5%. Are you saying the Fed's back in the market? Testing. Okay, I'm back. My mic just cut off on me, but I realized it before I think you guys did. That was good. All right, so let's check this out. So this only goes to September. All right, so we kind of getting a little bit of lagging data. New York, new, yes, new Fed trading desk. New York Fed? I'm looking that up. I'm not familiar with this at all. Hold on, I'm trying to timestamp all this stuff for you guys later on. Federal Reserve Bank permanent open market operations. I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed read this a little bit. Bear with me a second. Agency EMBS. Trump election. Oh, that's a ways out. Let's not talk about election stuff until we absolutely have to. I'm so, dude. The past freaking 8 years have been so tiring politically, crazy. All right, this is Caspa position. Caspa's left the dock. I mean, that thing is just did what we hope it would do. It's just gone at this particular point in time. I'm not going to dig into this much longer, Sank. Maybe we will later during the stock part, but right now I'll stick to crypto stuff. All right, let's keep it moving. BTC's in a good position. I like it a lot. Let's move on to to Ethereum. Ethereum above the 1855.18 level right there. Again, higher lows abound. This is really all I can ask for. I think Ethereum has not led this market, but it could come back. Ethereum tends to lead late anyways, and so I'm not really ready to throw in the towel, obviously, on Ethereum as an asset, but this is a bull market. If you've got it, it'll have its moment. Will it play catch up? Probably. Ethereum usually does, and I don't see why this time would be any different. All right, next up is BNB. I gotta get my timestamps right here. All right, BNB through the 238.10. Pretty good volume. Volume aggregation tool showing some good action. Daily volume aggregation tool starting to get with the program, and so maybe finally BNB will get a reversal. Could be a head and shoulders if we go sideways for a little while, like a month, and then come back down or something. But we'll see. I'm not really counting on that right now. Just looking at a trade through the 238. There's plenty of levels up here coming back from June and July to play with as we get up. Volume's doing pretty good. Needs to be a little bit more aggressive on this breakout. Hopefully that will be the case. XRP right now is doing pretty good. We had a breakout yesterday, or I guess today, right at the open. Nice horizontal here. I didn't put an alert, but we mentioned this horizontal level up here, and that's working pretty good today. So XRP up. A little bit too high, I think, to get involved. If you want, maybe, if you want to be really aggressive, you can put a stop down here at 61.71, maybe as low as a 61.30. But all in all, not bad for XRP. Starting to get some breadth in this market, and we'll see more like it later. More breadth, I say. Solana, this is our market leader. Not leading this time around. This isn't the end of the world. Solana is holding very nice, very tight. It did have that large topping candle we talked about, and it's just living under that right now. So no real issues with Solana. When it comes back, don't get it twisted. It will likely be with a vengeance. And so, Mike's talking about heavy in Solana. It's not such a bad thing, Mike. It's really not. If you feel like you got to sell a little bit and try to get on some some Kaspa, sorry, Kumi. If you feel like that's something you have to do, just do it with a small position. This is our market leader. It does have a topping candle. We've addressed that in the moment, after the moment, and now even right now. But we're holding up very, very well. And this is what leaders do. Leaders will sit here, make you think they're dead. Actually, look in the newsletter today, Mike. Look in the newsletter today, what I wrote. I said, Solana, we can't forget about the leader. Because it's 100% true. Every time I've forgotten about the leader, I've regretted it. Every time I've had a large position in a leader and have given it up for something stupid, I've regretted it. So, not every situation is the same. Obviously, past, what do they say? Past performance isn't indicative of future results. But as a general rule of thumb, don't forget about this. This isn't the market to do that with. It's a really good bull market, and this is our leader. So if you don't have positions in Solana, this is more than a conference pump. This is full blown leadership from a leading cryptocurrency in a cryptocurrency bull market. Sanct. Forget any news. I don't give a shit why it ran. What it's doing is what's important. How it's doing it is more important, and yeah, I really don't care at all about whatever it's doing, however it's doing it extremely well, and it's doing it on good volume, and it's doing it before anybody else. That's really what makes a leader, is what moved first and what moved best and on the highest volume, and this fits everything. And I'm hammering it this time around because it's good. So look at the volume. Just look at the way this is playing out. Look at my volume aggregation tool on the 2-hour time frame. Most of the time when we get these topping candles and dumps like this, the reds, it usually goes like this. We usually pop up and have this big hump of red like this, and then we come down, and it takes a while, and then we curl back up, right? And then we curl back up. But this time, our buyers are staying somewhat aggressive. And like I said, when this comes back, it's likely going to come back with a vengeance. So do not forget about this name. even if you only hold a little bit of it, um, just keep it on your radar, for crying out loud. If you're gonna have one chart up other than Bitcoin, it's this one. Just point blank. There's no argument in my mind about it. Yeah, is it the right time to add? I don't know. Down here, I took a very tiny position down here. Wish I would have been heavier, obviously, but we'll see. If it starts going sideways through this trend line, that could be an entry signal. Any kind of low, high or low could be an entry signal. Keep wanting to say high or high, or is it low or high? Anyway, tongue twister right there. But just use any good signal to get in any undercut and rally. If you get any kind of hammer candle, just anything. These types of coins you do not want to forget about. Absolutely. I just can't stress it enough. There's only a few of them. PancakeSwap is one of them. Kaspa, and then KCS started to get going too. We've been hawking on a lot of those coins for two of those coins for a long time. And they're finally coming to market and doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is more important than anything, to be quite frank with you. Big base like that, big volume breakouts, we'll get to those. So far below ETH on CoinMarketCap, it just shows. I wish that stupid heart would go away. Get out of my freaking. Maybe I just have to make this wider. It's still gonna hide shit. Or if I can inspect it and hide it. Are you gonna be garbage with me? I need it to go away. And highlight for me. It's not highlighting. Padding 0. Yeah, I don't know what I'm addressing right now. All right. So far below ETH on the CoinMarketCap, it shows it has room to go. I guess that's what she said there. Yeah, it definitely has room to go. We can take a look at CoinMarketCap, and I don't even want to compare it to Ethereum necessarily. I don't want to look at the market cap and say, oh, it's gonna get there. 17 billion. Look at BNB at 36 billion. BNB is, coming back. Ethereum, BNB, and then Solana. So even just catching up to BNB, that would be a double, and that would be obviously a good. And keep in mind, Solana's already doubled. Solana, we had an alert here at 22. That didn't work. 2056 worked, and we're already up 100%. So this has already gone from single digit to double digit. And then now we're looking for it to potentially do it again. Could it go from 40 to 80? Well, let's look at the chart. It's been to 80 before. 80 would firmly be there. Looks like maybe a pivot point here at 79. So that's another double from this level for, like I said, a market leader. So I know those coins got nothing going on, and I'm just talking around myself, but they're very important. It's very important to have these conversations about a coin that's this important to this market. It's not that it's going to make you money, which it probably will if you handle it properly, but it's about what it means if it fails. If this coin fails, the rest of the market is done. We may get some ancillary, last minute pumps, but the market's done at that point. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking for stability, and then the next curl up, and then whenever something the leaders do is they suck all of the liquidity out of the market. That's what this stage was right here. Solana sucked all the liquidity out of the market. When it was done, that's when the rest of this market got going, because they put that money back to work in these other undervalued altcoins. And so we've done this in the past bull markets. You guys that have been here for a while, you see the cycle. It goes from your early leaders to your secondary leaders to your tertiary leaders, and some garbage altcoin at the end that finally pumps when it hasn't pumped for the past, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months, whatever it is. And you see the cycle time and time again. It's because of that liquidity flow from the quality to the shit. And they buy it in that order. Just keep in mind, if you're running some kind of a fund and you trade in cryptocurrency, why would you buy the shit first? You wouldn't. You'd buy the shit last. You're like, oh, what else haven't we gotten? Like before the bull market runs, like, okay, what do we like? Well, we like Solana. We like Bitcoin. We like Chainlink. What else? We like PancakeSwap. We think we build a bigger position in that. KCS, that KuCoin token is looking, for whatever reason, we don't know why they have these conversations, how they have these Hey, what up, Loopy? How they have these conversations. Yeah, Loopy, we've been on top of CASP. Yeah, you brought that to our attention. I remember that. We've been on top of that. Like, I've put it on my newsletter every day for, not every day, but almost every day for the past week or two, waiting for that to go, and it went. So, but that's how these hedge funds operate. And you can't forget that. They go for quality first, and that's where the leadership is so important. Because if you're that same hedge fund and you think the market's topped enough where you want to sell your top assets, you think you're not going to sell the other ones too? So anyway, Caspus, Solana, super important to this market right now. And we spent a lot of time talking about it. It's for good reason, so don't forget it. All right, next up is Cardano, which has been less important this time around, but is getting going finally. We mentioned it would move. We just didn't know when, and it's been a little bit choppy, but it's finally getting its legs underneath of it. Nice volume declination here, leading into what is a good rally today, and likely, hopefully, will continue. Cardano is known for some blockbuster rallies. The problem is it's live now. And as we know in crypto, whenever your mainnet goes live, which it did at the very peak up here, you're generally fucked. And we'll see what happens to here. We could probably throw this away with EOS and all those other tokens that launched live nets that were very heavily favored prior to their nets going live. So, but we'll see how this goes. Our alerts have all been underneath of this. We mentioned a small cup and handle here yesterday at the 33-cent level. At least I think I did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure we talked about that. At least on a couple of them, actually. We had some pretty nice little miniature signatures yesterday that looked like we were ready to break up. And it's been a good 24 hours. Dogecoin. Dropped again. Yeah, thank you, Mike. That was weird. Yeah, it dropped again. It usually doesn't drop twice in a row like that. All right, well, I'm going to keep them both up so I got them right next to each other on my screen. So I can notice it hopefully before you guys did. But yeah, I think, I don't know when I dropped off, but I was talking about Elon Musk and Dogecoin and that whole dynamic. So yeah, Doge, Elon, X money. Exactly. That's the catalyst for this name. I mean, name another one, really. There's other than just general price action, which this has not been a leader. I mean, it's got a nice little flag thing sitting under diagonal resistance. It'll probably pop. It's going to have its day. But we shall see what that's going to turn into. But as of right now, there's really nothing dramatically good going on with this one. Tron recently has been on our radar and doing pretty good, coming back to the trendline support and extending through there. We're chopping through a little bit, but not really in a bad way. We can actually probably move this down a little bit. We give up all of our touches right there, but that keeps us current with current price action, which I think is important with trend lines. So Tron doing pretty good and able to maintain and get in the middle of the top 20. It's number 10. So whatever Tron's doing, something's going right with it. You can't dismiss it. And it's just slowly moving up. I don't quite call it a leader. It could be though. It could be, but it doesn't. No other coins follow it. That's the reason I don't call it a leader. It's just doing its own thing, which is okay. So if you got it, cool. If you don't, cool. Could it have a bigger, large, 20% breakout at a high clip like this? Yeah, it could. It's putting in those types of signatures. Look at the increasing volume as it goes up too. It's pretty slight, but you can see this little orange average volume line here. Flat, flat, flat. Even as it goes up. Flat, 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 flat. And then right about there when the market gets bullish, it starts to increase. So, and it's respecting trend line. So if you want to buy it lower like this, I'm not really even mad at it. The stop loss there is 1.5%. This hasn't moved buckets, but it's moving. Let's see what the low from here. So 30, 40%. Not what Solana's done, obviously, but still a pretty good clip right there. But it's been slow going, so you just kind of have to, pick your poison on that one. All right, next up is TON. This is new to the top 20. No, don't really know much about it. Really haven't spent the time to look into it because I really don't care too much about it. But good flat horizontal is putting together right now. So we double topped, came down, and we've been wedging up ever since. This could have a go at it. This is not a bad spot to do it. Volume's accelerated a little bit. We were a little taken aback by this drop in volume on KuCoin. I don't know what that's about. But it's doing okay. In terms of market leadership, I don't know anything about it. It doesn't really, recently the market's been going, it hasn't been moving with the market, so I include it in the tertiary token. Same with BTT, if it ever pumps again, Justin Sun's coins don't play by the rules. BTT, we haven't looked at that in a long time. I do think I have it on my USD pairs list, though. No? Did it get to the BTC pairs list? BTT. Maybe I took it off altogether. I don't know. I do remember that token, though. All right, let's move on to DOT. All right, DOT continues to do well while you hate it. I think that's a good way to describe DOT. I've been trying to think of a good way to describe DOT. It's been doing okay, but you just don't like it. You're like, yeah, I guess I got it, but it's doing okay. 33% up from the lows, and a little bit more to go till it hits the highs. Just had another distribution candle. This thing just cannot get its act together. It's not a favored layer 1. Solana's a layer 1. Tron's a layer 1. TON is a layer 1 too. That's a layer 1. XLM's a layer 1. XMR is a kind of it's like a Bitcoin derivative. It's not really a layer 1. Atom's a layer 1. And just can't get off the, and that's up 36% too. Like I said, Solana's our leader. This one's not. It's hard to, and candles like this is why it's hard to really get excited about DOT. So I catch it, I follow it, but I don't really spend a lot of time with it. All right, next up is Matic. Matic's a layer 2. And it's doing okay. This is not the time in the cycle for layer 2s. At least it doesn't seem that way quite yet. Matic is doing okay. It's above the 60. It's above the 66.53. It's just taking a sweet time doing anything. If you bought it off the 66, you can see I did throw a little trade thing in here for the other channel that I'm doing. And it's doing okay. Next up is Litecoin, which has been lagging a tremendous amount. Very choppy, very wide. Getting some support, though. Lots of wicks to the downside here recently. If you want to play in this, it's up to you. That's fine. It's not leading this market. It could come back, but I don't know. We spent how long we spent on Solana? 8 minutes. Almost 8 minutes on Solana. 7 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'm going to spend a lot less than that time on Litecoin. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, choppy, disappointing me. Just kind of like you're disappointing your mom right now. Sorry, I had a... I don't know why I threw that in there. Oh, that's funny. No one take that personally, but that was pretty good. Disappointing your mom. That's how I feel about Bitcoin Cash. I don't know who needed to hear that, but if you needed to hear that, you're welcome. If you didn't, it's hilarious. But if you needed to hear that, you needed to hear that. But yeah, Bitcoin Cash is looking like you disappointed your mom. Oh, that's funny. I hope everyone appreciated that one. All right. Yeah, there's really not much to say about Bitcoin Cash other than it's just disappointing. Riding the trend line, I guess if you want to get it, you could, buy it as it's lower. Here's your trend line, kind of giving you about a 3% stop loss. And as you go up in time, if it undercuts that trend line in a bad way, you could, you could exit it, and that would be an okay way to exit it. But it just can't get going yet. I thought it was going to do good. It was doing good early on, then it just kind of crapped the bed, unfortunately. It's all about Bitcoin ETFs for me. BlackRock entering shitcoin scene. Really? Maybe that's one of the reasons we're moving up. All right, Chainlink. This is a quasi leader. Had an excellent look at this volume coming out of here. Just excellent volume out of the 7471. That was kind of a that alert got chopped through the 8279. Look at that, straight through from 74 to 82. That is a big boy move on huge volume. And we never had a definitive topping candle on here, but this is what I was talking about. You know, sometimes, most of the time, you'll get this where the reds overtake the greens. Well, Solana doesn't have that. And this started getting going earlier today and testing the 11806. This is another potential entry point. This token with massive volume behind it, you don't want to forget about this name. This is still a bull market, so forget the distribution and look to buy the pullback. That's what this looks like to me. Again, you want to have good risk management. So you could try to take, so look at this last candle we just printed on the 2-hour time frame. Look how elevated that is. Look at how small of a breadth this candle is, even compared to this one. I'll draw it out for you. So you can see my dot there, and so that's lined up with the top. Look at that. You got about 33% more volume with about 33% less candle. That means accumulation on this smaller candle with elevated volume. So this is already being picked up a little bit. I think this is probably a good time to enter a little bit if you wanted to do something. So yeah, don't forget about this name. Chainlink is just had a really good rally. Nice sideways consolidation. It's trying to go. If you want to give it an opportunity, give it the opportunity. And I think that's all I got to say about that. But this is looking pretty darn good. All right, next up is Shiba Swap. And Shiba Swap here, kind of like Dogecoin, I guess, maybe a little bit more bullish. You have the 809. It did test it. It's just kind of playing around. You do have some distribution that stepped in earlier today. These are higher distribution candles. See, we talked about an undercut and rally and a hammer candle looking to buy lows. Well, this is a good candle to sell a high with. This is the absolute invert of that. It's a spinning top, and it's a higher volume at that. Also a failure to go higher and close lower. So we'll see what happens with this one. Could continue to blast off, but obviously if it did it on more elevated volume, I think that would be a little bit nicer. But we'll have to see how this one goes. All right. Next up is AVAX. And AVAX, we had the 1221 yesterday. I mentioned those little small consolidations. This was a small cup and handle. This one is buyable right now. You do have a little bit of distribution stepping in right there, but the way the market's looking, you have to give up some of these you have to give up a few of these candles if you're in a good risk-reward position. This one's not too bad. It hasn't been a leader, but it could be one of those secondary or tertiary tokens. About a 3.5% stop loss gets you under the handle if you're looking for that. And other than that, we have full support of this trend line. So that's your real hard stop. If for somehow you have a mental stop loss here at 1189 and it gets past that, you want to put your hard stop down here at the trend line at about 5.5 to 6% if you want to give it some wiggle room. Not really too bad right there. Sol's a pump and dump SBF coin. Cardano has existed since 2017. Is community driven. You can compare Cardano with EOS. Yes, I can, and I will. I absolutely can. Why not? Absolutely, I can. Do you know why I compared them? You have to frame it in the context of my comparison, not in your comparison, but my comparison. So you want to say Sol's a pump and dump coin? Well, I would argue it's been through the dump phase. Okay? I'm going to timestamp this. This should be fun. Sol and Cardano. Yeah, so here's the comment, the last comment here. Sol's a pump and dump coin. Cardano has existed since 2017. It's community driven. You can compare Cardano with EOS. What you fail to understand about cryptocurrency is that the loyalty, so you are supplanting crypto loyalty for price action, is what it sounds like you're getting at. Pump and dump, that's kind of an opinion. Okay, I mean all coins are pump and dumps. Period. Google, Apple's a pump and dump. Gold's a pump and dump. Everything's a pump and dump. Every single thing. Now there's some scams out there, and yeah, you're right. Solana went from 255 down to $8. that sounds like a dump. And then from 8 back to 41. So is that illegitimate gains then? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like you're taking the emotion, of what a community is and what a project is into the price action. Even if you're right, I'm still right. Okay? Because they're two completely different objectives. You can say that Cardano's community driven, which is fine. But if you look at the price action, you have to look at the price action because I really don't care if it's community driven. I don't even care if it's a pump and dump scheme. A pump and dump scheme you can still trade and make money on. So I don't give a shit one way or the other, to be honest with you. But Solana, I mean, look, I'm not completely up on the interworkings of Solana, but I believe Solana is still an active project. I believe it's still being worked on, and it apparently has survived the whole SBF debacle. Is there more to come? I don't know. All I know is that the price action tells us when to get in and when to get out. And that's really all there is to it, to be quite frank with you. It doesn't matter if it's a pump and dump. It doesn't matter if it's community driven. It doesn't matter if it's centralized. None of that matters at all if you're talking about making money. So, I'll give you an opportunity. Why don't you show me a community-driven token where you can derive when you're going to make money on that token based on the fact it's community-driven? Just anything, anytime, ever. So the whole point of technical analysis is to basically take everything you've said and throw it out the window with vengeance so you're not influenced by it. Okay? So you're not influenced by it. Doesn't mean that it's not right. Doesn't mean it's, but if you let that cloud your memory, if you let that cloud your judgment, I guess, we had this nice decline. Look at the Solana chart. Let's just take the trend lines off of it. Look at how organized it is. You know what I mean? Look at how the ups and downs kind of go together, and it's not all over the place. You got a couple of wicks right there. You got a big topping wick right there. But these are also some signals that indicate to us about what to do. So we need these signals. But look how organized it is. You got a cup and handle right here. You know what I mean? Right there. When volume starts to increase, and it's just the technicals, 2457. Just the technicals really point you to this is a coin that is well managed on the price from a price perspective, and that's very important if you're looking to trade in the markets. And then you look at Cardano, and what picture does this paint for you in the same frame of in the same mindset? Look at Solana. Look in the middle how it's squeezed. Like this whole channel right there versus Cardano all the way up here to all the way down here. So it doesn't really matter the reasoning why behind it. What it tells you is that the people that are trading these markets really value Solana over Cardano. For what? And I don't even know. I don't get to know what reason. I don't even get to know who prints these charts. But we had a spike low down to here, but most of the action was here at about the 25 cent level. We were able to chop underneath of that for a very broad period of time. Or Solana, we weren't able to get down to these lows that were played with at the 14 level. We couldn't get past 17, and then we had a nice declining trend line. Nice signatures. This is a very well managed asset versus Cardano. Which only recently has become to, getting accumulated as the market gets bullish. And so this is what a leader shows you. A leader shows you, we're getting bullish down here. We have, I think we had that one too. Yeah, right there, 2056. So what was Cardano doing on September 30th? So there's September 30th. It pumped, and then it undercut all the way back down to the bottom. Even just on there was the bigger price action. Here's the smaller price action right there. Look at that. This nice consolidation. This could have broken out right here, but nobody cared. Nobody really cared. Solana held it and then ended up breaking out. Look at how choppy this was during that same time period. So even recently, recently, look at Solana was just unable to even go down to these lows back at 17. So even if you're 100% correct, I'm also 100% correct, because it's the price action that shows the leadership in the market. Has nothing to do with anything else, because you don't know, and you never know, not you, but anybody, even me, even Warren Buffett. Well, Warren Buffett makes bottoms, but you don't know the motivations behind the people that are driving this. You know what I mean? I guarantee community driven isn't on their checklist, though. Just generally, like people with a lot of money, they don't give a fuck about community driven. They really could care less. So, even if you're correct, and I can compare Cardano with EOS given the price action and given its most recent leadership. EOS used to be a leader before it went public. You can look at, Cardano went public here, and it's never been the same, and it probably never will be the same unless for some reason it actually gets usage. And so another reason I can compare EOS with Cardano is they don't get used. If you want to talk about anything that's fundamental to cryptocurrency, it's usage. You want to know what gets used? Ethereum, which has $250 million market cap, and nothing even comes close. So all these are complete shit coins, if you ask me, compared to Ethereum. You know what I mean? BNB is the only thing, and that's only because it's a fully private network. Other than that, you got Solana, the pump and dump scam coin. So I'm not even arguing with you. Now you can argue with the entire market, because they are valuing Solana over Cardano right now. Now that can shift as the market ebbs and flows, but there you go. I think ADA will be more successful long term. Well, that's a side bet though. But what is the? I was ranting, but as you guys are making comments, sorry about that. But does that mean you make more money on it? Because even if Cardano is more successful as a network, are you going to capitalize on that? Are you going to hold Cardano? And then who's to say that Cardano doesn't shit the bed, Solana shits the bed, and some other token takes them both over? Right? So it's not even the fact, that doesn't even matter if you're right or wrong. The point is to make money. That's the whole point. Being greedy as fuck, forgetting about all this other bullshit, and just making money. That's it. That's it. I don't care who wins. I really don't care. I really don't care. No one should care, because you can't make money on it that way. If you want to be a fanboy, if you want to put a, Cardano poster on your wall and get a Cardano hat and put a wrap of Cardano on your car, that's perfectly fine. I hope you enjoy the shit out of it. But, it's a trading channel. We're trading. All right. That was fun. That was a fun aside. I haven't done that in a while. All right, let's move on to XLM, which I'm kind of hurting my feelings talking about XLM. Back to some more boredom stuff. XLM choppy, 1189, did get above that, holding support. Everything is above, not everything, but everything's doing good enough. And this is one of those that's good enough, just not really good enough to take a big position in. XMR continues this little downtrend here. We had the 163.90 down here as it was forming this consolidation. Didn't really have an alert here, but noted it was kind of doing it. And then right now it's still chopping around. So going back a little bit to, because, Batman's, anyway, talking about it a little bit more. From my understanding, and I talked to somebody, I used to do some educational programs, and I talked to someone who was actually very well connected in the community, in like the actual cryptocurrency, hey, I make cryptocurrency work community. And they said that Cardano isn't as easy to use as they said it would be. And so migrating away from Ethereum to Cardano, it's like, why? Why would we do it? Why would we have to push progress forward? Why would we completely migrate? He's like, if Ethereum shits the bed in some way, yeah, maybe we'll consider it. But so from that perspective, Cardano, someone mentioned deliver on promises. I don't think that they did. And I'm saying this later because it's not really pertinent to my earlier point of who cares. It's about the charts, because in reality, who cares? It's about the charts. But if you do put that backstory in, what you can do is you can start to see if the price action, so here's another good thing and I do this all the time. Now I do it subconsciously because I've just been doing it for so long. News, fundamentals, and price action. Okay. So does the price action jive with what you are hearing, seeing, and feeling about something? Okay. So let that sink in for a second. Is whatever you're seeing, whatever news article you're reading, whatever you're looking, whatever, I don't care what it is, whatever information you're taking in, whatever feeling you have about an asset, whatever, anything. If you have an opinion about something, if someone's giving you an opinion, go, huh, that's interesting. Even if you feel it like, oh man, I really like what Tesla's doing. You know, I'll use Tesla as an example because I do like Tesla. Oh, what's Tesla doing right now? Oh, I really like what it's doing. Oh, it just had a huge gap down. Oh yeah, the volume coming here is pretty good, but it's not great. You know, just because you hear something about an asset doesn't mean it's actionable when you hear it. Doesn't mean it's actionable at all. What you want to do is you want to take in the information, move it to my unbiased bucket. You're going to have a red bucket and a green bucket, right? The red bucket is stuff you just won't touch no matter how good it looks. Green bucket is I'm ready to pull the trigger immediately. Then you got a bucket in the middle that's like beige or whatever is between green and red. Orange, I don't know. You have that middle bucket. You shove everything into that middle bucket, everything, and then you go and look at a chart. Because before you put money to work, you need to see what the market is doing with that asset at that moment. Okay? Let's say just because I have Tesla here, let's say Tesla right down here, there's talks about bankruptcy. Okay? Let's say you hold a lot of Tesla, and right down here, there's talks about bankruptcy for Tesla. Someone put out a news article, some very effective fundamentals, and you're like, oh shit, Tesla has a chance to go bankrupt. I want to get out before it goes bankrupt. And then you sell. Well, without doing your due diligence, without looking at the chart for a little bit and coming up with a plan, realizing, oh shit, we got elevated volume down here while we're not making any new lows. You know what I mean? I was buying Tesla down here. Okay? I guarantee there's people selling Tesla down here strictly because of the fact that they took in some information that was garbage and they didn't even know to look at the chart. Most people don't even know to look at the chart and confirm the bias that they're given, right? At the same time, Tesla up here. Some really good news about Tesla, you know, obviously deliveries, you know, fourth quarter, blah, blah, blah. You know, let's say you get it right here. Right here, you're like, oh, it's about to break out, and you buy it. And guess what? It doesn't break out. So what good is that news? What good is that whatever thing that you put in your head and put in your green bucket before putting it in that middle bucket and then, you know, waiting to see how it plays out? So, you know, it really doesn't matter what I think or you think about something. It matters what the general market thinks about it. And overall, that is the key to this whole trading thing is you make your watch list of things that you like, and then you wait until they do good stuff on the chart, and then you go. That's it. It's actually relatively straightforward, but it is difficult to manage emotionally, and it's also difficult to do in practice because there are emotions involved. And trading is a very emotional endeavor. I'm pretty sure everybody here understands that, at least at this particular moment in time. So, yeah, because right now we're coming from a what are we at now? Adam next. We're coming from a bear market straight into a bull market. You know, didn't have a lot of warning, and how did you handle that? You know, how did you handle that? All right, next up is Adam. Last of our top 20 here. Going through the declining trend line, doing okay, but obviously it's last in the top 20. Volume is interesting. Look at all these. Volume is very interesting on Adam. Look at all these wicks to the downside. Oh, remember that one the other day? Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this one. Guys, remember this in the newsletter? Wasn't this a fully red candle when I did the video? And I mentioned, look at all these. And so maybe it's a good time to buy. And I think it was moving up. Hold on a second. What day was that? That was this day. It was that candle right there. Maybe. That's funny. Wow. And that even undercut and rallied a little bit here. So here's an example of an undercut and rally, but this is a weird one. Anyway, getting through the trend line. Look at my volume aggregation tool, though. Look at all that buying pressure. Even my 2-hour volume aggregation tool shows the buyers have full control even as this gets very choppy. So this could be trying to make a move, 7589. It's pretty elevated right now. 10%. Usually don't want to buy if it's further out than 5% from a large basing area. And so that is a little far right now. But if it does pull back again, that could be interesting. Hoskinson? Is that how you say it? I thought it was Hodgkinson or something. Anyway, made Cardano hard to use on purpose to filter out the non-academic devs. That would suck. That would really suck. Okay. So I have some USD pairs. You know what? Actually, give me a minute. I'm going to have to write these down. I didn't write them down. I didn't have time. I was running late today. We're not all perfect. Solo, been missing me. Yeah, you know what? I don't do as much as I should do, especially given this market environment. I've thought about doing a few things, but I've erred on the side of laziness, to be honest with you. Yeah, I still do the show every day. Still do the power hour, still put out the newsletters, all that stuff. So yeah, you do always have the option to sign up for the power hour. I know not everybody can or wants to do that, but that's where you do find me on a regular. Also, you can find me in Slack. So we do have a Slack chat room. If you guys want to get involved in that, you can go to the real-crypto.com homepage and sign up for that. If for some reason you have a hard time getting in, just email me. My email's in the bottom of the website. Just email me and I'll get you in. No issues there. All right. Next, let's take a look at what has got to be some of the best batch of altcoins we've stocked in a while. And this market is just doing really, really good. First up is our MVP Pancake Swap. This thing, really, really nice pattern at the 1255, and this thing has just been gone. It left the station here before I had a chance to put in another alert level, and it's just been super vertical. Big volume candle right here. Let's go to the actually smaller time frame on this one. Volume aggregation tool exit. Really nothing bad on here at all. Starting to take a little bit of profits here. This candle right there, slightly lower volume, but still not looking bad whatsoever. This is looking excellent. We could get into a topping candle situation, as this is just up a really good amount in a very short period of time. About a double right now from the 1255. So this is just a really, really good asset. Actually, by the way it's looking, we may get a topping signal today. Look at this. Volume even bigger than it was a few days ago, and we still have 7 hours left. So is there going to be enough buying pressure to keep this thing pushing forward? If you have this, you're probably going to have to try to figure out, okay, where am I going to exit? And you have a few possibilities. You can use the recent low of this consolidation. You can use that as a potential exit. That's probably a pretty wide one, though. Yeah, it's about 12%. You do have this. So there's the big candle. The big candle, there was actually quite a bit of accumulation. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame. Volume aggregation tool. Pretty good, but you can see there is some distribution. So here's where that last move up happened. Distribution, accumulation, some distribution, and the buyers appear to be waning away at the moment. If we don't get support here, this could start to waffle, and could be a time to potentially, take some profits on this one. It's not crystal clear, but you can see that they're taking profits up here. This has just been a large run. Pancake Swap, if you think of it, this is a bull market that we're in, and U.S. traders and even traders Pancake Swap it's a full-blown swap. What do they call it? It's a DEX, distributed exchange, and so the distributed exchange token. Look at that volume, though. I mean, on the daily time frame, look at this. I hate to walk away after we play such a blockbuster volume candle, because even the initial candle, that's that little one right there. May be hard to see, but all these candles are about the same size, but look at how much they're dwarfing everything else. So I really don't want to walk away from this one. I want to try to keep some position. I want to try to keep as much as you possibly can. while being realistic that obviously it's crypto and it could cave at any time. But this is such an amazing volume signature. I have a hard time believing that this is all there is without a very definitive topping candle. I mean, a very definitive topping candle. Maybe twice this volume. Just the way this volume's laying out. We need twice this volume with a spinning top. Something like that. A failure to go higher. Something like that. Something very definitive. That would be your exit signal. Nothing super definitive. We just have the makings of maybe consolidation. But this volume is just absolutely tremendous. Didn't fully expect that coming out of the 1255, but it's what we got. And so here we'll go. So there's a 1255. Look at the volume coming into it. Pretty good, right? So you come down, you come up, pretty good volume. But yeah, it formed a nice tight signature here. Ascending triangle pattern, declining volume. It was doing everything right, which is why we had it on the newsletter. But the volume coming out of that on the breakout, like, look at that. That is really good volume on that breakout. And then to follow up with that volume is out of this world. And so again, if I zoom out, that is just absolute. Look at that. You can kind of see it on the right side there. See the green sliver? Just out of this world volume. So I don't want to give up on this at all. I want to try to stay with this. With these types of volume signatures, you never know what's going to happen. You just absolutely never know what's going to happen. But if you have a good profit and you want to protect it, you kind of have to play a little bit defensive. And then you can always get back in. That's the other thing, too. If this does cave, I'm not saying it's going to, but just in case it does, take some profits off the table if it gives you an exit signal. If you want to keep some on. But, you have a lot of good stuff to watch right now. All right. Next up is Near Protocol. Near Protocol doing okay. I like, again, this is almost nice expansion up here. Good consolidation, and it's moving up. Volume could be a little bit better, but on the daily, it's good. Right there, you can see on the 2 hour, we're waffling around a little bit. Our volume aggregation tool isn't really launching, but this is a bull market, so I don't want to really be sleeping on anything. And if this does come back down... Yeah, so if you want to put a stop down, you could probably put it under about here or a little bit under the 1542. Come on, I'm trying to get the percentage thing going. There we go. It's about a 6% stop loss. So not too bad from that perspective. And nice consolidation, good volume signature overall. Here's where I mentioned the reds tend to go over the greens before it flips back around on the breakout. And but this wasn't as bullish. You can see the greens didn't have the peaks that the reds did. So we'll see how that works out. Kaspa. We've been waiting for this one for a long time, and this thing gone. Volume is over double average volume. All-time highs for Kaspa. Let's see what it's doing in terms of coin market cap. We've been watching this token since it made that high. And I couldn't find last time where it gave me the ranking. They changed everything up and I couldn't find it. Does anybody know where that is? I just want to find the damn ranking. Why won't it tell me the ranking? I don't get it. Last time I checked, it's been like ranked 200. Oh, there, it's right there, 210. So it's still ranked 210. Okay, there it is. It's right in front of my face. Just made it really small. Okay, ranked 210. Plenty of room to go. So 42. Okay, that seems more like it, Loopy, to be honest with you. That seems more like it. I'm not sure what they're not taking into account here. But if you look at their fully diluted market cap, it is in the billions. Yeah, 1.8 billion. So that does make a lot more sense. So you're saying we should use CoinGecko just generally? Maybe we'll do that. As long as they have a dark theme. There we go. So, but still at 42, plenty of room for this to go. This is a layer 1. 41 here, yeah. This is a layer 1, plenty of room to go. If it gets in the top 20, We're going from 1.3 billion into 4 billion. So you're looking like a 3 to 4x on this name, and this is a great start to that. 100%. Absolute great start to this. I love it. I love it, but I can't trade it, so I'm kind of screwed on this one. But yeah, look at the breakout. Look at the volume. Boom, right there. We saw this yesterday. It broke out. It didn't have the secondary breakout, though. We said, right across the top would be good as long as we didn't make lower lows. We never did, and really quickly it moved right up. So this is off to the races. I would put this best in breed. I don't want to call this a leader, but I would not forget about this name, and I would try to get in if you don't have it, if you have the ability to get to it. All right, next up is KCS, which we've been watching this one for a long time as well. And look at that move today. Holy crap. Such a beautiful move. It's not huge percentage-wise, but the verticality of it, 9%. It's not the biggest move, but the verticality coming out of a beautiful low-cut base like this, this could have some staying power. I have a measured move here going to 587.5. So far, it looks like it's going to hit that. You can buy this on pretty much any consolidation, I think. Have a small consolidation there, maybe another one here. Bigger consolidation on, say, a 2-hour time frame or 1-hour time frame would be a little bit better. But this is on the move too. And there's a lot of other coins that are on the move too that I'm not covering. I'm just trying to cover what I'm deeming the best ones. So, look, we got like Neo's been on a tear. Neo's been on a go, but I have a hard time. I was kind of out of sync with this one when it ran. KSM Gas BTC has just been freaking gangbusters. I believe it's Neo Gas. I don't have it on the USD side. Down 16% today, but look at this rally from 800 to 2400. This has been just a gargantuan rally, but pretty choppy. So I've been letting a few things go, just to kind of clear the air. ILV's been doing really good. Kind of a weird inverted head and shoulders. Volume signature is wrong, but kind of worked out. So, it's good to know some of these other ones, but there's Pancake Swap. We know about that one. But I'm going to try to pick the best ones to kind of limit what I show you guys on the newsletters every day. So, yeah, pretty good. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to go through BTC coins. I think I'll blast through these real quick. I don't know if I won't spend a lot of time on them. It usually only takes me a couple of minutes. If you guys want to bear with me. This is kind of how I do the newsletter. Let's kind of look around. Cardano's breaking out. Algo doing pretty good right there, but a little too choppy. This is kind of how I do my thing every day. You don't need to spend a bunch of time on the charts, especially when you're very well attuned with them. And I do this every day. So there's Pancake Swap, just completely gone. But we cover that versus USD, so I really don't work it. And as you can see, most of these BTC pairs, they're just choppy. They're coming out of nothing patterns. If they're even moving at all. BTC is pretty stagnant. Like, look at that with CTSI. Like, you don't want to get involved in that. Or that, or that, or that, or that, or that. The only thing we've had recently is stability as Bitcoin has been stable, and some of these alts have been making a couple of moves. EGLD, what's that about? That's not a bad one. I think I have them on USD. I think so. I used to. Oh, I must have removed it. Why did I remove EGLD? This needs to go back on this list. Yeah, this used to be, we were on EGLD for a while, if you guys remember. Kind of messed that up a little bit. That'd have been hard to get. Maybe right there we would have thrown an alert about 30.20, which still chopped around that a little bit, but not too bad. Okay. All right, so yeah, most of the BTC pairs just really aren't doing much. Like, look, you don't want to. I mean, most of these are really small cap coins, which back in the day would actually do pretty good versus BTC. But even this time around, they're really not. Can't catch them all. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, that's very true. You can't catch them all. So yeah, there's Neo Gas rolling over a little bit today. Could try to form a consolidation if somebody wants to play in that one, but nothing crazy. GRT, I had this kind of early on. Didn't really get going with anything. Sorry, I'll keep going. I feel pressure to talk with you guys. ILV. This one I almost put on here the other day. I didn't. That was my bad. This one had a good move up. Yeah, there's Illuvium versus Wrapped Ethereum. This one we did talk about, actually. And look at that move out of that weird inverted head and shoulder signature. Beautiful move. Yeah, I do remember talking about that chart. But it's weird because it's got the Bitcoin and the wrapped Ethereum chart going on it. But most of these BTC pairs, it's really not worth it, I don't think. There hasn't really been a really good BTC chart for a while. There's like two. Near Protocols, one of them, which we have discussed. And yeah, 45.36 right there. This was looking okay. Nice consolidation, good volume on the way up. I think we already talked about that one. And there's a couple others down here. I think Rune was one of them. But most of these charts are just chop. There's really nothing interesting. Rose has been okay. We talked about that for a minute. Kind of got out of cycle with that one as well. And that happens too. Status was one we've covered, 176, but it failed that one. We talked about that yesterday in the newsletter. Didn't cover it today. And Sushi Swap. Yeah, Sushi Swap double top of the 36.96, but just fell apart. Nothing doing there. This is really why I focus on leadership, and I do try to bring out just the best ones because, I mean, look at all these charts, man. What's it like? Like that one's interesting. Uniswap right there. That one's an interesting chart. Could throw an alert there at about the 1400 level. Maybe. Pretty, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll throw this alert at 1400. It's a nice flag. Already have some big distribution in it, but we've been able to stay stable, so we'll go ahead and add this. All right, that is now alerted at 1400. And what's going on with my computer? Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. That's my bad. And then we'll do, what else we got? And so XRP, there you go. XRP finally going out of a little flag situation this morning. If you want to play in it, up 4%, still buyable. But you can see it just really, the XRP longer term chart says you're never getting above 28.50. And I see we're down here at the end. XVS. Didn't it have XVS? Maybe it's versus USD. Oh, I didn't have this on here today, huh? Really? I'm surprised at myself. Yeah, I guess I didn't have this on here today, but 547 was the alert level. Did get chopped up a little bit. You know what I could have done and probably should have done is move this alert up to right there. That was my bad. That should have been moved up to 574. Clear. So once we came up and hit it through this 5 whatever, I already forgot what it was. 540, yeah, no, 547 is right there. Once it moved up here and chopped, I should have moved my alert on that one. So that was my bad, but a good move up there for XVS. Yeah, pretty good. And we're pretty much at the bottom of these. All right, next we'll talk about stocks. If you guys have anything else you want to chat about, let me know. Guys, I'm going to take a 5-minute break if you guys want to hang out. We've been doing this about an hour. I'm going to go refill my water, and I will be back in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hold on. All right, guys, I am back. Okie dokie. Stock market. Let me timestamp this real quick. All right, let's get to the stock market. The stock market has been really interesting lately. Um, I didn't get a chance to. I was gonna read IBD yesterday for you guys. I apologize. I did not. So tired yesterday. Friday work kicked my butt hard, and then yesterday I had a karate tournament in the morning, and just like nothing but exertion. So fell asleep at like 8 o'clock last night. It was crazy. All right, let's move on to stocks. Move to the daily, and this is the Nasdaq. This is the Nasdaq. So as you guys know, we've been going through some tough times in the stock market, but all in all, pretty conservative downtrend. You know, here we have that last bear market we went through. We've come all the way back up a substantial amount, and now we have what looks like a huge ass cup and handle. So there we go. When did I draw that? I don't know. Oh, I don't remember. I'm getting rid of it then. This looks like a really big cup and handle. Could we blast off right now? If what I think Sankt was telling us about the Fed, if the Fed is truly back in the market, then the market will be back in the market, and we'll probably continue on with good action. Look, if you look at this, the way that this consolidation is actually formed and the way it's played out, it's pretty nice. It's not a steep decline. So we started off here with a steep decline, and then we had a dead cat bounce with a double top, and then a larger decline, and then another decline, broke this trend line, then kind of off to the races, right? Now, look at this. This is pretty tight in comparison to this action. So it's telling us that the institutions, while they're a little bit trepidatious with their buys, they're not really selling that much. And it's really been kind of a, I don't want to say non-eventful because some stocks have been hit pretty hard, but I'll start off with what we usually start off with, NVIDIA. And I talked kind of during the start of the show about an hour ago regarding undercut and rallies and hammer candles and around key points. And this is the example I wanted to show you, which just occurred a few days ago. And NVIDIA undercutting a round number, 400, undercut 400, did it a couple times a few days before, then had a deeper decline, then came all the way back up on elevated volume. Yes, this red candle of volume goes with this green price candle. So that's a good undercut and rally candle, also a pretty good hammer candle. All right, and since then has been on a bit of a tear. Moving up into the trend line, may get some resistance as we get up there. Earnings look like they're coming out in a few weeks. The 21st, that would be a few weeks. Okay. So earnings coming out in a bit. And when I talk about market leadership, for those of you that are still here, thank you for being here and learning some stuff. This is leadership. Like, look at this 400 level on NVIDIA. Let's go look at the NASDAQ, which has made lower low and another lower low. Let's look at Apple, which has made two lower lows. Let's look at Amazon, which made some lower lows. Let's look at JP Morgan. I'm just random stuff now. Some lower lows there. Soxa, which isn't even a stock. Lower lows there. AMD. Plenty of lower lows here. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Oh, this kind of breaks the pattern, doesn't it? This does. Until you get an undercut and rally. And that undercut and rally, ladies and gentlemen, that is the signature. That is a good signature right there, made famous by Gil Morales and Dr. Kushner. What's the book? I got it up here. Give credit where credit's due. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Trade like an O'Neill disciple. Undercut and rally. They identified this signature. It's a newer signal. I don't think too many people know about it. Some people call them like swing failures to the downside, if you will. Undercut and rally, and then, pretty good signature off the top here. So NVIDIA, a true market leader. So we talked about leadership earlier, still talking about leadership because it's vitally important. And in the stock market, this is your leader. And we've talked about NVIDIA being a leader mainly, even since before the breakout. My dumbass, we talked about this inverted head and shoulders down here, and I didn't buy it and would have made like 10 billion% if I did buy it, because we actually talked through a trade to hold until like November. And that was back in January, I think. We talked about some long-ass trade back here. even as it moved up, we went back and found the video. And so, you can see the signatures, but if you don't follow them, you're stuck making videos on YouTube instead of being rich in a hotel somewhere. And so that's my life. Hopefully yours can be different, but you know what I mean? You have to take the opportunities given. Missed that one, but I didn't miss that one. That one's pretty good. And NVIDIA, from here, if we go bull, NVIDIA's a leader. It should go first. You're not going to get another opportunity. So probably at this point, I would argue the buy point for NVIDIA, if someone is interested, is I would buy some on the trend line. I would layer into this one if you haven't bought this one already. I would buy it at the trend line break. I would buy some. I wouldn't buy a full position. And then you would take some probably at the prior high, because that would invalidate this head and shoulders pattern. Once you go through that shoulder, the only thing left is the head. So if you want to get really technical, invalidating the head is your 100% invalidation. Invalidating the right shoulder means you're likely going to invalidate the head. Okay, and then undercut and rally, that shakes out a bunch of people that were waiting to get stopped out under 400, and then they rallied it back on through. So they take out supply and then rally it back up. So, but this, let's look at some. I mentioned yesterday we would look at some options trades. So let's do that. We talked about looking at Microsoft, because Microsoft apparently is kind of, they've partnered with Chat GPT, OpenAI, I think that's the company's name. They've kind of partnershiped with them, and look where Microsoft is sitting. Let's go to the weekly. There's nothing up here, guys. Microsoft could be on the verge of a huge breakout, and I don't know if I want to miss it. I'll be honest with you, I really don't trade Microsoft. I'm trying to log into my options trading platform here. I really don't trade Microsoft, but this is a double bottom base that just broke out. It's within a buy range, and I may change my tune here. I may change my tune and do some things here with Microsoft. So let me take this off screen so you guys can see the chart, and then I'll pull it up when we get to what we want to get to. Okay, so let's start with NVIDIA. So if NVIDIA, we just talked about artificial intelligence, and I mean, I hope all of us know that AI is next, right? And I don't think it's next in the term that marijuana was next. I mean, it kind of is the second coming of the internet. It will bring things to market that are very, very useful. And it's hard to play the small players because you don't know what's going to gain market traction. So you have to play the big players. And playing something like NVIDIA, I think is just smart because it's the pickaxes and shovels, if you want to use the gold analogy from the gold rush of California in the 1880s. This is your pickaxe and shovels, and then Microsoft has positioned itself with that OpenAI company to kind of, help facilitate whatever the hell they're facilitating. But yeah, let's look at some options. All right, so let's take a look at. We're gonna look at NVIDIA. I'm just timestamping it. Okay, so for those of you that are uninitiated with options, I will say this: they're the riskiest thing you will ever do. If you don't have the patience for it, you will lose all of your trade money, just all but guaranteed. So don't take options trades lightly. As a matter of fact, take them the opposite of lightly. You trade an option when you're 95 to 99% sure of what you're getting yourself into. Okay, like seriously, because it can be very imposing. Okay, so looking at this, I do have a trend line here, which was really drawn randomly, but it's doing a pretty good job. So this trend line, very likely, if we bounce off that undercut and rally, that trend line is probably very valid. So I'm going to use that trend line as a potential price action marker, and we're going to attempt to infer where this could go and by when. And if you're going to trade options, those are the two things you need to know. Where's it going to go? When's it going to get there? So you know what options to buy. Because when you're trading an option, there's two things you have. So these are dates of options, right? So these are January, February, March, April, May, June, September, December, and this is the rest of the year, right? November, December. This is December 15th, January 22nd, and options have an expiration date. And if you go into the option, okay, you're like, okay, I think I want to trade this into like the what are we at, 450? I want to trade this into the 600 level. Okay, I know I just said with when, but hear me out. 600 level, according to this particular strategy, it can get there by March. Okay, so let's look at March. So I don't have March, but I have April. Oh, I do have March, but we'll use April anyways. And then I'm going to use that, what did I say, 600? And then we're going to use the 600 level right there. Okay, so 600 level right there. Now, we're not going to buy the 600 level, but we're going to go closer to the money. And our 450, the way options work here, hopefully Aram sees this. He's the one who's been doing most of this with me. We're going to take 600, subtract the 450. That leaves us with $150. Well, this is going to charge us, they're going to charge us 62 bucks for an option that could potentially be worth 150 bucks. So that's a double. Okay, so for this to go from, where are we at right now, 450 to 600, that would be less than a 50% gain. We could make 100%. And that's how options work in a nutshell. Okay, so right now we're a little bit, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's look, all right, let's look at a Microsoft option. This Microsoft option could be a little bit better. Oh, look at that. Blue sky breakout for Microsoft. Let's look at CoinMarketCap real quick because, or I'm sorry, FinViz, because we're going to be dealing with very high market cap companies at this point. Both NVIDIA and Microsoft are the some of the largest market cap companies there are. Apple with 2.7. Microsoft is at 2.6. You got to be kidding me. They're right there. Holy crap. They're going to completely take over Apple. That's going to make Steve Ballmer the world's richest man. If you don't know, Steve Ballmer is apparently neck and neck with Bill Gates. Insider trading. Ballmer is not doing anything. Okay, so we are in completely uncharted territory then. A little scary, but it's what we got to deal with. So, could Microsoft double from here and get a $7 billion market cap? Or $5 billion, $2.6 billion market cap. Could they double to a $5 billion market cap? Holy crap, that's crazy. So there's Microsoft's prior all-time high, recent all-time high of 366. Wow. Okay, so there's this is crazy. There's a couple of ways to play this. So I will generally, I do like to kind of swing for the fences. The problem with me though, and my trading personally, is I don't always, you know, I don't always hold for the full duration. Okay, so 366. Where are we looking at? We're looking at January 2025 for 470 bucks. There's January 2025. So that would be 400. So this would be worth $70. That is not a good value. That is not a good value at all. I'd rather just buy Microsoft. So that means that it's too far out. You can't you just can't do it. So 350 plus 50 is 400 bucks, and we're looking at 470. So that makes this worth only $70, and that's not very good. So yeah, that's going to be a tough one to get involved in any of those, unless you want to go to a smaller time frame, which would be like the daily. Dogecoin just broke out. And then what you can do is try to time this next leg up, which would be about a 20% move given IBD rules. Should get us to 410, and ideally we can move into 410 sooner rather than later by maybe March. That would make this. We're going to take the 410 minus the 350 minus the 2650 is 33. So that's not so great either. Wow. All right, so they pretty much priced you out of the options market at this point for these assets. That's a shame. That'd have been pretty good. All right, well, let's be done with that for a moment. Let's look at some IBD stuff. So if you've been bored before, you're probably really going to be bored as I dive into some IBD stuff. So when you trade stocks, especially, I think it takes a little bit longer to get through than cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is basically entirely technical analysis. When you deal with the stock market, you do have to mix in the fundamentals, and it can take a while to actually get through and find really, really good things. Because there is some fundamentals involved. We also have more tools, and those tools can help you too. Cloudflare, that's a great looking chart on Cloudflare. Lope, that's a great looking chart on Lope. Qualys. I'm looking at the chart on the right there that's changing. Blackbaud, whatever that is, has a bunch of pocket pivots in a row. BLBK. What? I thought that was the symbol. BLKB. There we go. Okay, look at earnings. Some 3 pocket pivots in a row on earnings in a very choppy ass market. All right, not as good as I thought. Let's look at Net Lope. Let's look at Cloudflare. That's very choppy. And Lope. So once again, Lope looks pretty good, but it's already well past the buy point. So you want to buy the best of the best. You don't want to buy choppy garbage. You want to buy the best. And let's take a look at some of their lists. They have the IBD 50. Let's look at the sector leaders. Sector leaders tend to do better than a majority of their other lists. So I'm going to take this off screen so I can get through these fairly quickly. CRWD, DT, ZS. DT is not too bad. There's a double bottom base right there. Got a breakout here at the $50 level. So there's a low, there's a high, there's another low. That's not too bad. It does have earnings coming up. Zscaler, ZS, DEC. Already gapped up. Axon, which used to be Taser. That looks pretty nice. Ooh, that looks pretty. Volume percent change. EPS change is 31%. That's pretty good. And has earnings coming up November 7th. So this could be buyable on after earnings. Has to be after earnings. DLO, Duolingo. Nope. D Local Limited. Don't know what that is. An FUTU. These are all their sector leaders right now. Not a very strong list. Not a super strong list. Let's find another one. Big Cap 20. We've already been looking at half of the Big Cap 20. I look at that every freaking day. So they rank these. CRWD is number 1. Where's NVIDIA? And their list doesn't have NVIDIA on it. That's a flaw. IBD isn't everything. Yeah, I think I'm about done with this, guys. ServiceNow is pretty good right there. What's up, Ethan? What do you need?
The passcode, because on your own.
Are you leaving with him?
Yeah.
Oh, password's all ones. Are you taking it with you? Okay. Have fun. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, guys. Unless you guys really want to keep going. I know some of you other guys are just watching because I'm on. Um, I don't have to do this in front of you guys. So, but I do like to go through, especially when the market gets bullish. I do like to go through and see how the rest of the market is behaving. In the same way that because I don't do stocks every day, I definitely follow crypto every day. Um, and so I'm a little bit out of sync when it comes to the stock market. So it definitely pays to go through charts and see what's working. Arista Network going is good. You know about Microsoft, obviously. Planning on going AJG. I don't know what that is. Meta. Meta's not too bad. So we're doing okay, guys. I think the stock market's doing okay. Crypto's doing okay. Let's wrap it up. You guys have suffered long enough. All right, so let's wrap up the show. Get off of stocks. Get back to crypto. BTC. BTC trying to go again. Does Litecoin have an all-time high chance of the next bull run? All-time highs? I honestly, I forgot what the all-time high was. This thing is such garbage. Is it 400? It is 400, isn't it? Maybe. It's not doing anything right now, EJ. It's not leading right now. It's gonna have to come back with a major vengeance. I mean, if it were healthy, I think it should be up here towards the 118, 120 level. It's not. And so I don't know if it's not exhibiting the behavior that it can do it. Okay. A lot of people say, yeah, it can't do it, or it can do it, or it's going to do it. I'm just saying, I go by the behavior that it exhibits. It is not exhibiting Solana-like behavior. Look at Solana. Let's just take the trend lines off for a moment. Solana already above recent highs. Litecoin, not even close. So I don't think it's exhibiting the behavior that would allow it to do that. To answer your question directly, I would say no. So, but overall, the market is looking good, though. We are in a bull run. The altcoins are looking exceptional. Not every single one of them, but the ones worth watching. And obviously, those are the ones that we track every day on the Real Crypto Power Hour. So, if you're interested in that, you can go to my website, real-crypto.com. You can go to the services side and sign up for that. We get daily newsletters. We have live stream every Saturday. Today it happens to be Sunday. We're doing it live. May start doing some public videos again. I do other public videos, actually, for those of you that don't know, for Altcoin Buzz Trading. It's not my best work because they want me to stay to like 4 to 5 minutes, and so I don't get to do exceptional work. But if you want to hear me there, you can. Altcoin Buzz Trading is the channel name. Other than that, yeah. Crypto's doing pretty good. I like what I see. We should continue to see bullish action. Solana's your leader. Chainlink is doing really good today. And I think a lot of things are doing great. So, all right, guys, that's it. That's all I got. I'm kind of tapped out streaming-wise today, I think. I'm going to go clean up from Halloween. And so, have a great day, guys. Stay very safe out there. Always have good stop losses when you place your orders. Find the best-looking charts. Find them breaking out of patterns. And hit me up in Slack if you guys got any questions. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.